Hi everyone, it's Nicole. I have another layout for you. Here I'm just showing you the products that I'm using, mostly from the January Studio Calico kit block party. And I'm going to start off by cutting some strips of pattern paper. Instead of using the whole piece of paper, I like to cut it up just to save some papers. And at first I think I'm going to use these little 2 strips of papers, but I decide against it. The cloud paper, I'm going to use a bigger sheet of paper because I want to use the doilies, and the doily is white on white, so it doesn't show. So I'm going to change that up in a little bit. And then I start looking through my die cuts, and I'm looking at the washi tape, but I find it's too much the same color, so I'm going to do something a little different. I'm looking at those labels, but again, the labels are cream and blue, and the page is more white base and blue. Looking at the stickers, and I'm going to decide on the one that says memories. It's a little flag. And this is where I decide that I'm going to use the cloud paper, but I'm going to use it more like a square, and I'm going to use it at the top left and the top right, and that's where I'm going to build my clusters. And even that paper with the little stars, I'm not going to use that in the end either, because I find the colors didn't match. There was more colors than was in the page, so I'm going to replace that shortly. And I'm going through my die cuts again, and I decide on that flare badge. I'm looking through those circles from snippets, and I do choose one, but then I forget to glue it on and find it after the page is all done, so I decide against it. And so I'm still looking for some stickers, or I decided on some stamps. I'm going to use the stamp from the kit that says 0 to 9. I'm going to stamp it in that tide pool from Hero Arts. And I'm having a hard time just deciding on different stickers, and this is where I decide to take that red tag. And this is the 4th time I've tried recording this video. I don't know why. It just keeps stopping the recording. So hopefully this time it actually works and I can upload it. The layout's been done for almost a week, but I went back to work, and my time is a bit limited when I'm at work. So I decide on that stamp that says love this photo, and I actually stamp it on the back of a packaging that came in the kit. It was the chipboard hearts and stars. So I just kept the back of the packaging because it was a nice chevron and I really liked it. And then I stamp that stamp, like I said, 0 to 9. I stamp it at the bottom left and the top right. And then I'm going to work on my title, and I'm using those thickers. They're like an ombre color, and they really match the washi tape really well that we got in the February kit. So the page is going to be titled My First Baba, and I'm not really sure where I'm going to put the title at first, and I play with it for a bit, and I decide to just put it aside and try to figure out something else while I'm thinking. So I decide to, I think it's at this point that I choose white cardstock, and I'm going to punch it out with the postal stamp. And I'm going to cut a piece for the top and a piece for the bottom. And I'm just going to break up that chevron pattern and the red pattern just to give it a little bit of more dimension. So I'm just cut little strips and place them where they belong, and then I decide on some red twine, and then I believe at this point, or very shortly, I'm going to decide to start gluing everything down, because that's one thing about cutting everything into pieces. Everything keeps moving, and it is a pain. So it's nice to finally start gluing stuff down so that you can actually see where the layout is going. So I just want to make sure there's a little bit of red showing at the top and at the bottom. And then I'm going to stick the white in between. I probably should have put it before, but I kind of forgot about it. And then I have to kind of lift it up a little bit and stick the white border, the punch border in between. So I'm using my favorite glue, the Scotch Quick Dry. And I kind of start placing the bottom cluster together, sorry. And this is where I decide to put the white punched border. Sorry, I just worked a 12-hour day, so my brain is a little tired. And I finally went to the doctor, and I did have some kind of lung something or other, either bronchitis or so. I'm finally on antibiotics, so hopefully going to feel well really soon. So I'm just gluing everything down, and there were some pieces of paper that were kind of sticking out, so I'm just making it match the rest of the page. And then I'm going to use my tiny attacher to attach the twine at the top and the bottom of the page. And usually what I like to do is on one side I put one staple, and then on the other side I put 3, and then if I use another twine on the bottom, I'll do the opposite. So the side that I had 1 staple, I'll put 3 on that side and then 1 on the other, just to kind of offset it. And I'm still having trouble with my ATG. It's that roll, for some reason it keeps curling up. So hopefully I go through it really quick. And then I'm going to use some of that blue and green washi tape, but I didn't want the green part, so what I did was I glued down the red part of it, and then I just ripped it so that it sort of mimicked sort of clouds. And I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom after I glue down the cluster. And this is where I decide, no, I don't like that, so that backing again of the chipboard for the chipboard hearts, I use that instead. And I'm going to turn this into a flag also, the Love This Photo that I had stamped earlier. So here too, I'm going to glue down the washi tape and kind of tear off the green portion of the washi tape. And this is where I decide to put those little I believe they're called tweets, little birdies from Studio Calico. And wherever there's going to be a little bird too is I'm going to put some twine there. And at this point I decide I need something to anchor my title. So I have the punches from Fiskars. I believe the largest cloud is called extra large, and then the medium one is called large, and then the small one is called small. And so the top right is where I'm going to place my title. I needed something to anchor my title, so I'm going to put my title there. And then with every cluster I also put 1 or 2 clouds with the little birdies. And then I'm going to glue everything down, and then I'm going to put a little piece of twine by each little bird, and my battery's going to die very soon. And I was almost done, so I didn't figure it was worth waiting the 3 hours for the battery to charge up and just to show gluing down the twine. So I'm going to start gluing it down, then the battery dies. But basically that's all I did. I put a twine by each little bird, and then I put a red heart, and then I glued down the title where the clouds are, and the page was done. So if you have any questions about any of the products used or any comments, just leave them below. And just to let you know, just watch for, I reached 200 subscribers, so I'm going to have a little challenge and a prize, and I'm going to be uploading that hopefully tonight. And it's going to be open till April 15th. So thanks for watching. Bye.